someone nicely commented on a tweet I put out, and like to defend me, but like they backhanded because the guy goes, "You don't go much, I assume," and the person responding for me goes, "You know he doesn't." When it's Tom, what? Well, I was like, but I don't know if that's referring to me not going out, or like the tweet that I was talking that the Washington Wizards provide a top 15 city
Oh,
in
I
the
saw
league.
that.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I have a love hate with DC. There's
you know,
good
it's the
areas. I don't think it's a top 15 city.
sixth most visited city in the world.
Well, yeah, it's the nation's capital.
It's actually really nice, and he actually has came out and said he's like his family says they really like how he can be in Michigan within less than 3 hours. He can be in Miami within less than 3 hours. He can be in New York within less than 3 hours. He can be in London less than five. Same thing with Paris. He came out yesterday professing how much he loves how central he lives. Like he says he's never experienced the ability of everywhere he goes is like the same amount of time. It's easy for him to travel, easy for his family to visit, and that like the area he lives. And plus, you have to think about it, a very big black community in DC. So probably a very comforting area. And like, people don't realize if you're rich in DC, you're living real nice.
Oh yeah, but where else you can live real nice in the middle of everything you want to visit? New York City, aka the New York Knicks.
Yeah, but like that's like too loud of a life, and he wouldn't get the touches. He would be the fourth star. Here, he's a co-star, and
Yeah, you've been using this argument for half the season now. I
oh,
don't think it stands. I get your
every day
logic,
that every day
but
that passes, he's re-signing.
let's
Every
put a
day,
bet on it. Let's put a bet.
I will
Let's
bet you
do.
$150 right now
No,
that
I'm all
Kyle
set on
Kuzma.
that.
Okay,
What we can do though is we can pull a Skip and Shannon, and I'll bet you a case of
TikTok's
Red
going
Bulls
to
that
Congress
Kyle
today.
Kuzma will not be a Wizard next season. Case of
Uh,
Reddies.
more willing. I personally think both Kuzma and Porzingis are going to be Wizards next year, but I'm willing to bet 150 that Kuzma stays over Kristaps. But yeah, no, I expect both of them to stay because no other team gives them as many touches. No other team gives them an opportunity to live where they live. No other team gets them to be a franchised player / marketing. They're not going to go to the West because if they want to be all stars, they're not going to be Western Conference all stars.
Their marketing is doing such a good job. I see so much about Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma and the Washington Wizards in general.
Well, you don't live in the Delmarva, but when I'm home and I'm watching Delmarva TV, I'm getting the Delmarva advertisements. You got Kyle Kuzma. I haven't really seen Christoph Porzingis, and I think that's just
He's a future Bull.
no. Christoph Porzingis is just a really private person, and like he talks about how much. No, and the other reason I don't believe he's leaving is he's talked so much about this past season, Christoph Porzingis, about how he regrets how the whole Knicks situation went down, and how he just at this point he really liked DC, and he's learned that he'd rather be somewhere where he's wanted instead of forcing his hand because he regrets how everything went down with the Knicks. So that's where I sit here and I'm just like, maybe.
Yeah, I've been hearing this for half a year. I still stand by neither will be a Wizard. I hope they're both. I'd like to see. I'm open to whatever. I don't.
Well, to wrap up this unexpected Wizards talk, I think what was interesting yesterday, I watched the video from Spencer Dinwiddie talking about it. So he came here. He said it was so confusing in DC that there was like 20 different things going on, and it was weird because like Spencer Dinwiddie wanted to basically defend himself that hey, like I wasn't a locker room cancer that people made me out to be. What was going on was Denny Avdia was supposed to be Luka Doncic, is what he said. He like said that like a couple times, which makes like maybe people are pissed that Denny isn't as good potentially as he was assumed to be. The other thing is that he said there was like almost like 3 or 4 different timelines going on, and there was like no clear direction in DC.
Yeah, welcome to the Wizards, baby.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about this real quick before we change subjects and talk about Karl Anthony Towns. everyone wants to assume in sports your owner is trying to win the championship every season. But in reality, about half of the owners in every sports league don't care to win. They just care to break even or make a profit. I'm not even kidding. Or may just make the playoffs. You see this in the NFL all the time. There are teams actually out there not trying to win. They're trying to win the regular season games. Playoffs is not important anymore. They just want to be in the mix. But they don't care about really executing.
Yeah. That's why you got guys like the new Suns owner who you can just tell, and it's not really a question. I'm thinking about my Chicago. They're not my Chicago Bears, but I'm thinking about the Chicago Bears, first team that comes to mind that really couldn't, or at least it seemed for my whole lifetime that they don't really care about it that much.
Well, you guys drafted your first black quarterback and
so they did. But yeah, exactly.